Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back. Today we're doing another get ready with me video. I wanted to sit down today and do a very cool toned, smoky, glam, grungy look. This is the look that I came up with. This is very, I just love this look. It's so, it's similar to smoky, cool tone looks that I've done in the past, but it's just, that's exactly what it is. Smoky, cool tone, glam. I love it. This is something that I would totally wear out and about, even though today I'm only wearing it to Target. This is a very me look. It's very smoky. It's got the cool tones. I use 2 different glitters and it's just a whole vibe. So yeah, I'm gonna walk you through the look step by step. And I also open up about just some things that I'm learning about myself that I thought might be relatable to you, or at least some of you. It's some of the stuff that I have just been learning about in therapy. The last time I talked about some of those things, you guys really enjoyed hearing that, even if it's something that you can't relate to specifically. I think we all just like knowing that there's more to people than just what you see on the internet, just surface level, like makeup, hair, whatever. We're all going through things internally. So I open up and share a little bit about that and kind of like what I'm doing about it. And yeah, it was just a really good conversation. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please subscribe and let's get started. Today, I really want to use the Vive 9 Teas palette. It's kind of like a play on words, 9 Teas. So I'm going to be using this. I will be starting with the face, but I want to show you the other inspo for today's look. She came out with this a little while ago now, but I haven't used it yet. And I can't wait to try it. This was a gift from Amanda, by the way. I'm excited. My mouth is so dry today. So I did put on a self tan right before sitting down to film. So I don't think I'm actually going to use primer since I mixed these tan oil drops in with my moisturizer, and I'm hoping that's going to work just fine as a primer. Plus it's like 4:30 at night. I don't really need my makeup to be lasting, so I'm just going to go right in with foundation. And I wanted to use an old favorite of mine. I haven't used this in a minute. This is the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. I love this stuff. It's been a long time since I've used it. I'm in the shade Macadamia, and I'm gonna use my Fox 4 foundation brush. I'll link my brush set down below. Woo! It smells like makeup. Ooh, I'm already liking how this looks. It's been, I don't know the last time I used this foundation. Maybe last summer. That it gives such a nice medium coverage. It's not luminous, it's not matte, it's just a nice natural finish. It's so pretty. I'm gonna bring a little bit down my neck. Gorgeous. I'm going with my concealer. This is the Pat McGrath concealer, my favorite. Wow, I really need to use this foundation more. It looks so good on my skin. Just like glowing, but a little bit more fuller coverage than I'm used to. But it's still not a full coverage. It's, I would say, definitely medium coverage. Do a little spot concealing. I'm gonna go in with my brush and start blending this in. I'm excited because I think today I decided that I am going to try adult ballet classes again. So I used to dance pretty much my whole childhood, all the way up until I was like 18, 19 years old. As an adult, I've realized there really isn't anywhere that you can go dance as an adult, whether you've had dance experience in the past or you're brand new and want to learn. And on top of it, dance studios are extremely expensive. The couple places that I have found offer adult dance classes, but they're all like ballroom and stuff, and it's like $100 an hour. But yeah, just like classic ballet at the bar training has been really impossible to find. And I was talking to my therapist about my childhood, and like one of the things that came up was that I danced basically like my whole childhood, and how like the only thing that has stopped me from doing it is that the one place that I have found is like an hour from my house. And then when I brought that up to her, you know, she was saying, oh, you know, like there's gotta be somewhere else like closer. And I'm like, yeah, you would think. So then afterwards I was like, am I gonna let the 1 hour commute put me back from a dream of mine, something that has been a dream of mine since I was a little kid? I sincerely thought that I was gonna be a dance teacher and that dance was going to be my career. I was gonna be a dance teacher. I was gonna dance professionally. Like that was always my thing. And now I've been so out of it, like for so long that I know that I'm not anywhere near the skill level that I used to be. But also, I don't want to dance professionally. I don't want to be a dance teacher anymore. At least right now. I could actually, honestly, if I ever got back into it more consistently and got better again, I could definitely see that like being a future of mine, like being a dance teacher again for kids. I think that that would actually be really fun. So I'm not ruling that out as a career path. But yeah, I just like woke up today and I was thinking about my therapy session a couple days ago and, you know, what my takeaways are. And I've been going every other week, which I've really liked that schedule because it gives me enough time to like really, really reflect on what we talked about and what I've learned and how I can apply it to my life and just more things that I can gather, like more thoughts that I can gather that I can bring to our next session just to kind of like tie that session up with a bow. Yeah, I just thought this morning, like, am I really gonna let the commute put me back from something that I like would really bring me happiness? So I'm gonna go. I decided, and I looked it up. They only have it once a week anyway, so it's not like I would even feel like pressured to go twice a week or anything, because I'm like that. I would want to be like an overachiever and go to every class that they have, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, they only have it once a week, and so I think I'm gonna go. And I am really excited because that was such a huge part of my life for so many years, and just in my adult life it just hasn't really been a part of it. So I'm really excited. I'm nervous because like I know I'm not that great. I've taken a class at this place before. I took a class in 2019. Really quick, I'm going in with contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I took a class there in 2019. I think I only went one time with a friend of mine, but we couldn't get our schedules to match up to go, and they had multiple classes for adults. So it just never ended up happening. We were gonna like switch off driving because she also lived out here, but it ended up just not working. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of do this by myself. It can be my alone time for the week to just commute, listen to podcasts, dance for an hour, and I'm so excited. I will fill you guys in on my journey. Honestly, like I feel like therapy is just like changing my life in so many good ways. Not saying that like every time I leave there I'm like refreshed and like ready to go and take on the world. No, it's like a lot of like deep inner work, and like not even just inner work, just like more of like a deep understanding of myself and connecting with my younger self, because I feel like anytime I think of me as a child, I think of her as someone else, and or someone I used to be, but now I'm realizing, no, she's still very much so part of me. That is very much so me. And I've been learning and understanding ways in which my younger self has coped with things, has developed different coping skills or coping mechanisms that served me back when I was younger that are now doing the opposite for me now. It's been very eye-opening, and I feel like a lot of times people talk about like, oh, your past traumas, and that's how it's worded. And the way that I thought about that was, you know, oh yeah, like we've all had certain things that have happened to us, but I feel like what I'm learning is that it's not necessarily only about what has happened, but it's about what you did when you were younger to deal with certain scenarios or certain things that have happened. And that, at least for me, is what has like come with me through adulthood, in positive and negative ways. So I'm just learning a lot. And one of those things has been people pleasing. It's only been within the last like few months that I've really even noticed that I do this. I thought that this was a good quality of mine. I thought that it was just very selfless and like just a good thing. And I'm learning it can be good, but also it can be self-serving. So I've learned that I can tend to literally put my thoughts and feelings completely aside for the benefit of other people because I want them to be happy. But the reason why I want them to be happy is because ultimately I want them to like me. So I've learned that I've been doing this, especially in my friendships. And I've learned that this happened when I was younger because it served me then, but I'm realizing it's not serving me now. And so I've been learning to set boundaries. You know, it's okay to go above and beyond and put other people before you sometimes. Like, I think that that's okay. I think people pleasing sometimes can come across as just very easygoing, go with the flow, really down to do whatever. And I think it's okay, but if internally, if you feel like genuinely you really don't want to be doing something, but the only reason that you're doing it is because you just want you just want to keep the peace, or you just want that person to like you, it's easier to just go with the flow rather than to speak up and say, hey, actually, I don't want to do that, then maybe that's not serving you anymore. So I found that I was doing this in life and in friendships, and I specifically had one friendship where I have always done that. I have always gone above and beyond, and I have always, like, I will literally lay on the ground and let you walk all over me kind of thing. And I'm learning to set boundaries, learning to give myself, learning to put myself first in certain scenarios. Like, if something is affecting me on a personal level, I'm not going to bend out over backwards anymore if it really does affect me in a negative way. So me and this friend ended up just like not being friends anymore because for our entire friendship, I would do that. And they didn't like that I was putting these boundaries in place. It's just been interesting because I've been okay with this loss because it's shown me that they've been okay with this scenario for so long, and they've never returned that courtesy, or that not even returned that courtesy, but just like they wouldn't reciprocate that behavior. And it kept being that one thing was okay for them, but not for me, because it's always been that way. And so since I finally have spoken up, it was like, whoa. And it's just, I feel like I've like opened up blinds in my brain, or just in my life. Like, I can see more clearly because I'm understanding way more of like why I am the way that I am and how certain things are showing up for me as an adult. For instance, I try to be very organized, and when I get unorganized, I flip out. And it's something that I will, I think, always be working on, or at least for like right now, especially, I'm like very aware of it. It's on my mind a lot because I've become aware of it. But yeah, I've learned in general, not just with being clean, but just organized in general. Like, I love a really organized schedule. I love an organized routine. I like everything to be just as is. I like to know all of the information before making any sort of decision. But this is because it's a safe space for me, and it helps me just feel safe. So it's just really interesting how we develop things like that. And, you know, being organized and having a set schedule is okay. I don't think that that is a negative thing for me, but where it can be negative is when like unforeseen circumstances happen, like even down to the littlest thing, like the weather changing. It can like throw me off, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. My whole schedule's messed up. Like, if I have my schedule planned for the week and something happens where I get a flat tire, like this week my tire blew out, so my whole week changed from what I had planned. And I've gotten a lot better at just shifting and like just being able to pivot and go with the flow, where before I'd be all like just so upset and think like, oh, my whole week is completely ruined. What am I gonna do? So, and these were things about me that I just thought were personality traits. I didn't realize that it was probably technically just a coping mechanism. And I think the purpose of all of this is not to be like, oh yeah, that's a coping mechanism that you developed when you're young and now you're screwed. It's not necessarily that at all. It's more like understanding it and understanding the cause and the why, and then doing something about it, whether it means changing it or leaning into it or understanding how it shows up in my life now, which has just been really beneficial. and very eye-opening to me. And I just feel like within these last 3 months, I'm becoming more, not necessarily more of who I am, because I think that we're always going to become more of who we are, but I feel like I'm coming more into my own. Like I'm understanding myself more, and it's more like I'm just connecting with the pieces of me that have been in me and just becoming one. Does that make sense? Like I feel like I have, not that I have multiple personalities, but I just feel like there are different versions of myself or different seasons of myself that I've been, and I just feel like they're all kind of coming together to be one, and like I'm honoring those different parts of me. Man, sometimes the cops just go like 70 miles an hour down my street and it's 25 here. They go ridiculously fast. I just did a little bit of the Laura Mercier powder and then the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, and I'm going in with bone beige contour, and I'm gonna chisel out my face a little bit more. I'm just gonna add this here. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. The last time I talked a little bit about some stuff that I've learned in therapy. You guys really seem to like it, and I think that, you know, some of this stuff I had never heard anybody talk about before until recently. And I think maybe it's because I've maybe been looking up some stuff on the internet, and now like my feeds are all curated to like me and like what I'm searching for. So these were things that I didn't know about myself until honestly like the past few months. And so it's just felt like I can breathe. It's felt like really refreshing, really, really refreshing. And all last year, I feel like I went through just so much internally. I felt like at the end of the year, I still didn't have any sort of peace, you know? I still felt like I couldn't understand really what was going on. I feel like I've had way more of an understanding just in the last 3 months than I did all last year, which is, it's great. And now I understand when people are like, I think everyone should go to therapy, because now that I've gone, I'm like, oh yeah, everybody should. Everybody should, because it's not really about being fixed or fixing ourselves or whatever, because that was my intention going in. It was like, okay, I need to fix these broken areas inside of me. And now it's more about just understanding and growing. And I don't know, I just feel like by doing this, I'm learning more about myself and how I can continue to just be the best version of me, and I'm not trying to like fix something that's wrong. It's not like I'm trying to fix something that's broken. Are there broken areas? I'm sure there are. But those are okay to stay that way. They can be broken. It's just, I think, learning how to cope with brokenness, you know? That was deep. I just want you to know that you're not alone if you think these things as well. And even if you're not going through this sort of exact thing specifically, like the people pleasing and the control and wanting to control things and having trouble setting boundaries, you might have other obstacles in other areas. But even just knowing that someone else is dealing with something along those lines, I don't know, it might be comforting. At least I hope it is. And also, like, I don't want to share too much about certain things. Like, I like to be discreet. So this is only the tip of the iceberg. This is the cherry on the sundae, if you will, which I'm sure you also understand. Oh, this skin right now. I am loving how all of this is looking. It just blended together so nicely. That foundation. Okay, for highlighter, I want to use the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter. I think you can still get this through Smashbox. I'm using my Fox 5 brush, and I'm going to pop this on my cheekbones. This is one of the most beautiful highlighters, but it's intense. It's a lot more intense than I'm used to, because I have done like more of a natural highlight the last like year. Do my nose. So one of the things I've been thinking about is how making friends as an adult is so hard. I've had this conversation with so many people recently, and it is so hard. You think like growing up, you're around so many different kids all the time. And then as an adult, you're just not around a bunch of new people, especially if you work from home. Like, I've made a point to make sure that I get out of my house for the things that I can get out of my house for. Like during 2020, I got really used to ordering my groceries just because like of everything going on. And then I got used to it. Finally, I decided like no more ordering groceries to your house. First of all, you can buy your own damn groceries. This is ridiculous. But now it's like I get to actually interact with people at the grocery store. It's just like little things like that. We need community. And I've just been realizing the lack of community in my life, especially since 2020. So I've been looking for a church. First of all, Ruben and I are gonna try a couple different churches around and see what we like. Really quick, I'm gonna go into the Laura Mercier Peach Blush and apply this to my cheeks. Eventually, once I find a church, I would love to find a Bible study, which kind of scares me. I don't know why, but just like being a part of a group, I think that's something that I'm insecure about, is that like I don't know a lot of like Bible stories and things like that. Like I would love to like be deeper in my faith. So I think something about going to a Bible study is very intimidating because like I don't know the order of the books of the Bible. I did buy tabs for my Bible so that I can see them on the outside, but still it's just like something about being around women who are stronger in their faith makes me feel intimidated. But I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna let that stop me. And then also just like with this, like going to this ballet class, like I'm hoping I can just make some friends, just like meet new people. I've been looking for maybe some running groups around my town. Like maybe once a week I could run with a group. That could be cool. But like I'm brand new at running, so I'm like, am I gonna be like running with anybody, or are they all gonna run faster than me? Like I just think about all of the scenarios, like all the things, and I end up stopping myself from doing things, and I need to not do that because it's making me stay inside my house and have no friends. Not that I don't have friends. I worded that wrong, but you know what I mean. Like I have, yeah, you know what I mean. Spray my face with the Morphe setting spray. The other thing, I live pretty close to the beach. I always see people from like California and like the LA area say that they go to the beach. Like I'll see them at the beach or whatever. And then I'll realize they live like between 30 minutes and an hour to the beach. It's not like they just like live on the beach. They have to go there and drive there. I'm like, same. I really don't live that far. If you've never been to Chicago or Northwest Indiana, Lake Michigan legit is like an ocean. It is huge. And it really does feel like you're at the ocean when you're at the beach. And I just feel like, why am I not utilizing this wonderful beach that we have here? Like, I live so freaking close. I don't ever just go to the beach by myself. First of all, I'm kind of scared going places by myself as a woman. It's terrifying, but I can't let that stop me either. I need to get a park pass so I can go to the dunes. And like, even if I just go and sit there and read a book, like that just gets me really excited to just like start romanticizing my life and like doing Pinteresty kind of things, but with me, for me, all by myself. Yeah. Let's do some brows. I just tinted my brows before I sat down to film, and I think they're looking pretty good. Precisely my brow pencil from Benefit, and fill them in. And then I got these new brow gels from Lawless. I'm gonna use their light medium brow gel and see how that goes. Looks like this, by the way. And I might grab the darker one for the ends. Another thing I realized this past week is that I am a Swiftie. I didn't realize it. I listened to Taylor Swift when I was younger. Loved her music, bought every album, but I just think with most celebrities, I'm not like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. Turns out I know a lot of her songs, especially since Folklore, Evermore, and Midnights. And then the earlier albums, like I learned that I am a Swiftie. I'm seeing everybody's footage from the Eras tour, and I am like, I don't really know if she's gonna do this again. I feel like this is kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity to go, so I've decided I want to go. The thing is, the tickets are just obscenely expensive, so I am just hoping that I can wait until the day of and get some piece of shit seats for like $200. I'm putting it out there, you know. That's what I am praying for. I don't want to be 75 looking back at one of the most iconic tours and be like, I could have gone and I didn't, you know? I want to go. Time to get into the 90s palette. It's from Vive. I think I'm going to start with Phase. Pop that in my crease. Oh, and Taylor's new song, that she just released that was from the Lover album that just like never got released, which I don't get why that is. This is like one of the best songs from her in my opinion. All of the Girls You Loved Before. Oh, it is so good. I don't get why she didn't post, like, why didn't she post it? Why she didn't like release it with the album. It's just, I feel like that's just one of the songs that's like her best work. It's really good. That I've just had on repeat the last week. It's so freaking good. Yeah, this whole day turned into a beautiful sunny day right as I started to film. And I'm not mad at it because it makes filming so much easier. I'm going in the crease. I am feeling my bone. You can feel where that bone is and where that socket is. I'm going right in there and I'm just pushing, doing these little, it's little like oval motions. I like to say ovular, but just really fast. And I'm holding mid to like the end of the brush, so I'm not applying too much product and it's not too intense. I take it on the tip of the brush and look upwards and bring my mirror up here so I can pop it on the bottom lash line. I'm gonna take a hint, just a little hint of bronzer. Pop that through, give some warmth. You guys know if you've been here for a minute, I love mixing warm and cool tones together, especially like if you have a medium to deep complexion or if you have any sort of like warmth in your skin. Sometimes cool tones can be a little intimidating because they kind of contrast sometimes with the undertones, or it can feel just like you just need that buffer. You need that kiss of transition to like work with your skin tone. Use your bronzer. It's so helpful because it kind of brings those tones from your skin tone into the look and it works with them, and it won't turn it into a warm tone look if you still want the cool tones. It will just kind of marry all of the tones together. So try that out if you haven't yet. Add in a bronzer with your cool tones. Time to deepen it up. All right, so now I'm gonna go into Low Rise, this shade here, with a smaller brush. Look down and pop this on the outer corner, outer lid area. Guys, I really miss Makeup Geek eyeshadows. Using these shades made me think of Makeup Geek. It's getting me excited again, and it just made me realize just how absent I have felt. There's just like an absence in my heart because Makeup Geek is no longer. It's just so sad. Just one of my favorite brands. And also just in general, the use of single eyeshadows. We've all just gotten back into palettes, and I really miss making my own custom palette, and that's just like not really a thing anymore, and I miss it. Just wiggle it. I'm holding really far back on my brush here so I don't apply too much pressure. I'm now gonna go into 93. Oh, that's such a beautiful color. It's like that deep plum. Ooh. And I'm starting at the lash line, and then at the outer corner, I'm going up. So I'm making this outer V shape. And then go back in with your previous brush with the Low Rise shade right at the edges to blend that color in. Oh, I finished Daisy Jones and the Six, the show. I won't give any spoilers, but I actually really liked the show better than the book. I liked what they chose to change. I think it made more sense and it made it more impactful, and I just really liked it a lot. I think they did a really great job. Back to talking about the friendships thing. I think a lot of times it's talked a lot more about what to look for in toxic relationships, red flags, all of that sort of thing. I feel like red flags in friendships just isn't really talked about that much. And I think maybe I don't know, I think maybe it should be talked about more. There were things that I would just let happen in friendships that I absolutely shouldn't have, and stayed in friendships for far too long. Someone actually brought it to my attention that a lot of the friendships that I had in my mid-20s were friendships that either started when I was really, really young, or I was friends with them because of someone else. And the friendships that I have made that have been in a natural, organic type of way have been really strong. Like, it makes sense that we're friends. We have things in common. And the friendships that like there were issues in where I hate to say it, toxicity, or there was like toxic friendship vibes, because I try to be very understanding and realize that they probably don't realize that like what they're doing is not okay. Those were the relationships where stuff was happening that just like wasn't okay or fair to me. And if you can relate to what I'm saying and you're in friendships like this, just know it's okay to set boundaries. On my lid, I'm gonna go into VHS, and I'm just gonna take it on my finger and just pop it here on the lid. It's gonna be this beautiful gunmetal color. I am gonna do a wing, so I'm gonna grab L'Oreal cat eyeliner. I'm gonna grab my face highlighter that I used, the Champagne Pop, and bring that in the inner corner and the brow bone. I want to add a little bit of sparkle to this. Heavy metal, glitter, and gunmetal. But then I also have this from MAC, the Dazzle Shadow Liquid. I kind of want to mix these together because this kind of has like a purpley hue. I think that would be really pretty. I think that'd be kind of cool. So I'm first going to go into gunmetal all over the lid. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the purple. I'm just going to dot it in random little spots because I don't want it to be too purple. I just want a random purple shift. Okay, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna add some mascara. I'm applying these eyelashes. I will link them down below because I totally forgot the style. What do I want to do? I got these new lip injection lip liners from Too Faced that I kind of want to try. Let's see, I've got Puffy Nude and In Big Truffle. That's cute. Let me try this one. Extreme Lip Shaper Plumping Lip Liner. So I'm going to try Puffy Nude first. Creamier than I was expecting. Okay, I actually really like these. They're so creamy, almost like a lipstick. We'll see how they wear, but that was really nice. I do have to say, because it's their lip injections line, my lips are really tingling, and I like forgot that their lip injections do that. I'm gonna try In Big Truffle. It's a little bit darker. This feels like I just rubbed hot sauce all over my lips. I mean, my lips are like legit on fire right now. I need a little bit of peachiness. I'm gonna grab MAC My Tweety and put that on top. Yeah. The look is finally complete. The lips are on fire. I think you honestly, like for the way that this turned out, you could just do Cool Brown from Anastasia and My Tweety from MAC. But yeah, this is the final look. The sun is now going down. I feel like this is like the perfect representation of what the weather is looking like right now. I was inspired by rain and all of that, but now it's kind of like dusk where I can still see the sun in the horizon. It sets over here. You can see the sun on the horizon, but it's like darker over here, and so I feel like I'm getting the warmth from my cheeks and my lips, and then the coolness of nighttime in my eyes. I just really love this look. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I feel like we covered some very deep topics. I feel like I've been opening up a little bit more little by little, and it's just felt really good to just connect with you guys on that level and hear your stories as well, and just learn a little bit more about each other. I feel like one thing with like how I was talking about with community and how like I've just been wanting more community. We have a community here, and I love hearing from you guys and talking with you. I have so many great conversations in my DMs all the time on Instagram, and it's just so nice to have like-minded people to communicate with. So thank you for always leaving your comments. Even though I can't respond to every comment, I do read them, and I just appreciate you guys reaching out, commenting, and interacting, and sharing your stories as well. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. If you end up recreating this, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your looks. I love cool tones, and I just feel so glam with this, especially like anytime I'm wearing like a sweatshirt with a sleek bun, earrings, and then just like a bomb smoky look. I just feel all of that. I'm about to run to Target, and I'm gonna feel like that bitch in Target. I almost went to hot yoga tonight, but it's period day 1 for me, and I'm just like, I don't think that's the vibe for today. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe and I will see you in the next video.